Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deontay Bird, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. We got a great show topic tonight because I think a lot of people, because me being an accountant, I've seen so many different things, so many different occurrences where people have issues from a financial standpoint, where they're caught off guard, due to things in the economy, due to things with that particular company that they're working for, where they're caught off guard.
Mm.
One day they're high on a horse, next thing they know they're out of a job,
Okay.
and they missed a lot of signals, and they weren't prepared for certain things. So tonight's show discussing um, leaving your job before they fire you. Leaving your job before they fire you. We're also streaming on my other YouTube channel, Change Your Lives. So again, I think it's kind of like a mixed topic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people have this because so many times people are caught off their rocker, especially when you're living good. Money's great, economy is great, and next thing you know, like shit, you're just trying to figure stuff out. So again, we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you. Okay.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared it up because I'm thinking if I'm doing something wrong at the job, I'm stealing pens and pencils and they know it, I know I'm gonna get fired. So I'm thinking it was more of that, and you're not more of the company is having financial issues. So that's what it's more about.
It's more about preparing yourself for some things where you may not know it's there, or maybe they're inevitable.
Okay.
Because sometimes we don't get signs, sometimes we do.
Okay.
So that's why,
Okay.
So that and I want to discuss that because far too often people can see certain things and we're gonna pray on it. We're gonna hope on it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jesus. They let me, and a lot of times it's not even God got nothing to do with it. It's just like, hey man, well look, we're just gonna keep them for a couple more months.
Okay.
And and you see that things may be going in a different direction, but far too often people, because of their fear, try to avoid, like I said, the inevitable. So we're gonna talk about it tonight. Again, tonight's show we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you. Again, I'm Deontay Burton, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. On this Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. We have over 700 videos on the YouTube channel. We also have a grants playlist with over 150 open grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. So whatever platform you're looking at, because right now we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Twitter. But regardless of what platform you're looking at us on, go to the Mr. Short Dollar. Again, that's Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel and take advantage of all the great information that we currently have on the channel and all the information we have coming down the pipe. Also, guys, we got a call-in show going on tonight.
Right.
So if you have any instances or circumstances that involving where you may have got fired, you seen you had signs and things like that, or how you dug yourself out of a situation before the ship sank, call and discuss it. The call-in number is 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. Again, the night show we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you. And
Latasha Lane said this is right on time. She said her job just informed her that they're preparing to cut 150 employees.
Well, I tell you what,
next month.
Okay, I appreciate you tuning in. And by the end of this show, I promise you'll be in a better headspace to prepare you for just in case. If you love your job and you're glad you're there, great. But just in case, I guarantee at the end of this show, you'll be better prepared to go going forward instead of just more of a watch and see mode.
Okay.
And I've been in this situation a few times at different levels and different for different aspects in regards to leaving my job before I was fired. I remember my first job out of the military. I was working at John Wheeler Homes, and man, I was really like coming out of the military. Damn the federal government, so they're not laying anybody off.
Right.
So I get out there, got the little boy and the baby. I'm just working and stuff like that. I think I make about $10 an hour, something like that, some crazy. But then I remember I was in school, just doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm really ignorant to the real world because I've been in the military, and you just folks firing you, do this, that, and that, all kind of stuff. I had never really had it. Look, right. When I got fired when I was working fast food growing up, but we just might be not throwing patties at each other. So shit you cause,
right.
old banky, so.
Right.
I remember, man, this was 2003 or 4. Yeah, something like that, maybe 02 or 03. But I know this was I think PJ was born. Right before that first market crash.
Okay.
I think it was 03. maybe, but anyway, I mean that's where it was kind of like when the trade centers got crashed.
Okay.
Because you know when all that was happening, I mean gas went from super unleaded went from 99 cents to damn $3 in like 2 weeks.
Sticker shock.
Crazy shit.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm riding this big old 78 Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Super gas cousin.
Woo! But I used to fill it up for $10.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I went from filling up for $10. It's tripling, man, that I was $30. I'm like, I'm about to lose my mind.
Right.
So when the market crashed, I worked for a home building company. So what's happening there? Prices going up. So they just started off, started talking about laying people off. And the thing we're working with Wheeling was so successful in the home building market in Atlanta. Every 2 years, they would take the whole company on a trip or a cruise or something like that.
Right.
Bahamas, Daytona. I mean, the whole damn company.
Everybody.
I'm on 900 people.
Okay.
Company paid for a trip. You've been there 2 years. So they were making that kind of money, right? So now you're sitting there like, this is just like, man, you in, hog heaven, right? And it was cool for me because I was in school working. But long story short, just like that, you go from total comfort and everything to now you like, damn, these folks might lay me off and I got this damn baby, I got this little boy, and hell, she wasn't no damn help, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here like, what the hell am I going, you know what I mean? And it scared the hell out of me. The problem came up was Lab, and I'm just being transparent with me, and I got a couple other instances, was I was just ignorant. Like, you talking to the OGs and them, these OGs were more so like, man, we just gonna ride it out, because pretty much those guys were working. This was their pinnacle.
Okay.
I'm 23, 24.
Just out the military.
Yeah, like I'm going to school.
Just started.
Yeah, I'm going to school, so I know I'm going in a whole different direction.
Right.
Once I get my paper. But like these guys, kind of like in their 40s already. So like they just were like, this is it.
Right.
Like they just trying to ride this shit out, ride it out, So their thing was we'll just wait and see. Because they, in their mind, because they were making probably about $14, $15 an hour. Which is good money back in 02, 03.
Right.
And it might be earlier than that. But anyway, their mindset was, I may not necessarily, be able to get this, whatever, because this is kind of around about the whole .com boom. So, it's just like, hell, you could, when it was good, you can walk down Full Industrial and get hired on. You get fired, get another job at noon, fired, and get another job in the afternoon. That's how that was, it was just everybody was hiring, everybody was making money. I mean, you had all these instant millionaires and stuff. It was crazy. And but stuff got rocky. Like they were really like, hey man, we just wait and see. And I remember, man, when they came in, that, and I didn't wait. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't damn wait. I started, applying other places and stuff like that. That's when I got a call from the railroad to come down there. But I remember when they came in laying folks off, seeing those older guys crying. That messed me the hell up. Like, what the hell going on? Because, and what always stuck with me to this day was, I don't think the man was being callous when he came in and said, hey, sorry, gentlemen, hey, we're going to let all this, that, and that go. He had no remorse. He didn't care. It was just, it was business.
Right.
And that always stuck with me. Like, like these men had a whole lot more liabilities attached to them than I did.
Right,
I ain't saying, hey, kids. But I also had youthful, all this kind of stuff. Hustle bus.
Right.
Yeah. Shit, I don't even know if I was that. Like I was in that range, but you get my point.
Right.
And my optimism level was a whole lot different in regards to a lot of stuff. But they were just sitting there, man. I mean, seeing grown men cry, and I'm like, hey man, it's just shit. We can go get another. Like now again, I'm being naive. Like you can go get another job, and I'm not taking consideration like
they older.
Well, they older. Plus they pay can go from here to here.
Yeah, right.
Hell, I'm already here, so it didn't make me no damn difference.
you already there.
Yeah, because
so for you to go, it's up.
Yeah, they've been at the company 5-10 years and stuff like that. So they were a lot more established with that. You know what I'm saying? They done had a lot more quarter raises than I did. So just to see that effect, the impact, and like I said, I didn't when the supervisor read that, there was no like I didn't take it like he didn't care. It was just it was just business.
Right.
Just hey, look, build bottom line. But when I say didn't care, protecting the company was more of a priority.
That was his priority.
Yeah, than everybody
probably
else.
His job.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But that stuck with me. That stuck with me, not to be that way, but just to understand. Like, look, that's you know what I mean. One of my mottos: I trust you to be you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always look. That has always stuck with me. Like, people say, "Hey, we care about our people." This, that, and that. I trust you to be you.
Right,
so at the end of the day, that thought process is always going to be to protect themselves, protect the company. Regardless, damn, I got kids, whatever. You got health issues, spouse do, special need children, mortgage, health issues. They don't give a damn about that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the company, protecting the company is it, the bottom line. And that stuck with me. And I learned that I hadn't had a college degree or whatever like that, but that was a big wake-up call. But just to see that, and that was something that stuck with me. Just remember, I can remember his face today, reading the names off. All right, gentlemen, y'all take care. God bless, and walk right out.
Right.
Then ask nobody. Y'all okay?
You okay? You need
anything? Yeah. It need me
Nah,
sitting
they'll
there.
never do that.
Woo! And I'm talking about those guys sitting in there. And I'm just the young cat. They were out in the parking lot. Went out to Kilroy's on the Old National Group and warehouse over there. They done got their liquor. I mean, they were sitting out there for hours. I'm just a little young tad, so I'm just hanging with them. But I ain't even feeling this stuff. They feel. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go get me some, and go get me another gig.
Right.
But they were just like devastated, man. And that just one of the things that stuck with me.
Right.
But
do you think anybody? Oh, say hey to your mom.
What's up, mom? What's going on, mom?
Yeah. Do you think anybody really can prepare themselves to get, no matter how long? Like I said, you've been there a couple of years. When we work at an establishment or work a job, most of us don't plan to go there to get fired. You get what I'm saying? And then we always got bills, and we always establish ourselves to a point to where we feel like, okay, if we do the right thing, we make sure we do good or whatever, everything will work out. Nobody is really prepared. You tell me what you think. I know this. I think this live stream we gonna feel differently, but I don't think anybody's ever really prepared to get fired. No matter if you've been messing up at the job now, you just not prepared for it. There's no preparedness for that.
I think
we get complacent. I know.
Well, you want to be, you want to have some kind of comfort level in life and things like that. But I think typically you're not really prepared for it to happen to you the first time. And some people may never happen. We're doing it, but until it happened that first time, we're doing it. And then you have to, from that point, you have some kind of a shell over you to do it. Now, how much you want to get into the shell? Because I've seen, like, just when I was working at that job in that warehouse, it's funny. And I'm glad I seen a lot of that stuff when I was younger. There was a lot of guys coming in, especially like, and I'm not knocking warehouse jobs. That was probably one of the most fun jobs I had, because I had some real good mentors that would talk to me. My credit, I listened to a lot of them guys. They had a lot of life experience today, and I had so much fun. That was one of the jobs. I didn't make it hardly any money, but I like going to work every day. You know what I'm saying? I really like doing it. But I would say that there were a lot of guys that would come in. I see they just be glad to be working and just. I don't want to say they were both jangling, but they just were damn near on that boss. Come on, what we gotta do? Hey, this they were happy to hell to be there.
Right.
And I say that to say I think they had been through so much, layoffs, firing, and all that kind of stuff. So they just working, and kind of like that. Depending on what generation come, like people sit there and they can retire from jobs. Some jobs, especially pretty much all of them retiring now, unless you're working in some kind of public service. You ain't gonna have no damn pension, so you better have something in your 401k. You're really gonna be dependent on Social Security. But when you sit there like you ain't got none of that, and I even know that like my grandparents, they were kind of like from that generation, like they had to get to a certain point in life where like, look, it was Social Security or bust, and it's like a lot of people right now, you know what I'm saying? And I think that if you ain't had the experience, you wouldn't know. But then from that point, people's outlook on that kind of stuff, kind of like you go into, you start dating, and you don't got your heart broke. And, sometimes you can look at it and say, well, you can't hold what happened, what this person did on the next person. Then another vantage point is, shit, your ass ain't got burned for you. Better learn. You see these signs.
Right. You better watch the signs.
Yeah. They doing their phone like this. And, you know what I'm saying? They going out the phone room when the phone rings. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, look.
You have to learn from your experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or your whole son against them, or your ass acting damn ignorant. All the stuff that happened to you before. So to answer your question, can people prepare for it? You know, I don't think you ever can really the mental aspect of it. You can do stuff, but I don't think people. How can I put it? You don't really know the feeling until it happens.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Right.
You know that's the thing about it. You can hear all kind of stories
you
about.
To learn from the experience.
Exactly.
You know how it's going to feel until you feel it.
And you got to feel that the feeling. You know, so just like the first time you have a child, or the first time you get your first car, get your first house. You hear about it, but until you do it, you really don't know the feeling. If that makes sense.
Right.
What's up, Trey Nicole? How you doing? Appreciate you tuning in. But if that makes sense. Like now we've been having the conversations in regards to what people could do and everything like that. I still think it mainly comes down to trying to be as prepared as possible.
Yeah. I think I've had that happen to me 4 times. 4 times that I've been laid off because of financial issues with the company.
Were you preparing for it?
I always go into jobs not expecting to be there long because I just know how people are, and I know how if it comes between me, the manager, and the district manager, vice president, I'm always going to be the one to go. You get what I'm saying? Like if it comes to that, I don't necessarily know I was prepared. I guess my thing was just the whole process of starting over. Gotcha. That's the part that got me the most because I have been working like these jobs. I have been working like 5-10 years at some of them, and just the whole aspect. And I think that's what a lot of us. It's not necessarily losing the job that we're upset about. It's where
you at that part in life,
right? And
you
then
got to regress.
You got to start over again. Like you got to go in here and you got to do the shuffling buckets. I don't care what nobody say. You got to do the whole little rigmarole. You got to make nice with these folks. You got to interview with these folks, and then you got to start the whole process over again. You know what I'm saying? From the filling out the application, to sending the resume, to interviewing, selling yourself, and all that. And nobody really wants to go through that. That whole hiring process is
it can be draining.
It's a
especially
draining process.
If you don't plan it.
Right. It's a draining process. Even though you may be looking for jobs while you're working, I mean, I don't know anybody who don't keep looking while they're working because, like you said, tomorrow could be the last day.
I think 90% of people don't do that. I would say probably 80% of people.
Man, I don't know why.
But just think about it. You think the average person, Leah, is actively evaluating their skill sets, looking at where they fit in the market. Now, I ain't say what you're supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
I ain't say what you're supposed to do. Do you think the average person is actually, once they get a job, do you think they really have an honest assessment with where they at, as far as professionally? My best friend's an HR director, and I know he always told me, he said, Poochie, always update your resume. Try to look at it every quarter, but at least every year. Because his whole point was, because most time people update their resume, damn near years down the road when they want to get a promotion or something. You don't forget half the shit you done did in the past,
right?
And everything. But he was very adamant about it. But that's his world. That's what he does. And to that point, psychologically, it's easy to get a job when you got a job,
right?
And that's the thing about a lot of time people miss, because think about it like this. That's why I really do admire this younger generation, this millennial generation, because the people that they knocks, they feel entitled, this, that, and that. But they really, it is no damn fear in regards to like, look, man, I'm boom, 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 boom. Because at the end of the day, when you making, just say you making 30,000, you want to see in the 50,000 or 70 or 80, whatever, doing it. If you on that progressive scale, the worst thing you can do is just stick on that thought process with the company you with, right? You thinking about what that company you with. And shit, next thing you know, like, then, you off track. Now you scrambling to fit in somewhere else. But if okay, look, I'm 30, but I should be making, I can justify it.
Right.
I can go in there right then and there. Y'all know it. or whatever. Because typically if you should make more than market level, the people you work for, they'll know. They might be just waiting for you to say it and you sell it to them.
Right.
But if you sit there and go to the company B, company C, this, that, look, I suppose I can do this and I can make this kind of money. You need to look at that. But to your point, people get comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's close to my house, this, that, and that. I got a lot of freedom. I got a lot of autonomy.
Right.
All that kind of stuff like that come into play, which I understand. Right. But also you got to sit there and look at it too. You've also become skewed stagnant. You can't, do certain things. Your money has increased over years, but it's got a wish reward with doing it.
Yeah. Future Jones says, when will people believe in themselves? I don't necessarily know if it's people believing in themselves. I think it's more of when you lose a job, is starting the process and getting other people to believe in you, to hire you. Because regardless if we lose a job or not, we still have bills. Bills don't stop when the job stops. So I think all that stress adds on because you don't never know how long it's going to take you to get another job.
But that's a great part about what tonight's show, because again, what we're discussing is, because there's two ways to look at it. It's like you can say I believe in myself, but what you said, I also got something called reality, and all this, and the reality of times. So look, I'm going on this track of life, and I'm working and stuff like that. Next thing you know, I lost my damn job. Now we can go into this. Is not the show where we're talking about, hey, have this 6 months emergency fund. Okay, with all that, you got all that stuff set up. Emergency fund, they're cool. You can be able to survive 6 months, a year, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, if you've been here and you believe in yourself, but nobody out here in this damn, you're pressing enough, you need to get something. But you can't get nobody to believe in you. To your point, like, look, I want 50,000 because this is what I made here. I know what you want, but we're gonna offer you 35. Right. And at the end of the day, if you don't have the suitors there, you can sit on your I ain't doing it, and then the next thing you know, your ass at McDonald's. Right. And it happens all the time.
Right.
It happens all the times. That's why I say, just like, thanks for calling the dollar. How you doing?
Hello, what's going on, bro?
Now, what's happening?
Hey, no, this Future _ Jones, man. I was typing, but I think my fat finger hit the button. I'm old, bro. I ain't got time for that stuff.
Nah, that's cool. Well, talk to us. What you got to share with us, brother?
Yeah, no. So I'm retired from the military. I just retired in December.
Okay. Cool. Congratulations.
In the Navy and everything. Yeah, appreciate you. So I was a Navy counselor, and for me, I tried to go out here back into the world and be with these people. I'm a personal stylist, so I worked at H&M for a little bit, and then I worked at Nordstrom as a personal stylist. But they only wanted me to do one thing, and now being in the military, we are taught to do more than just one thing at one time. If you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, being a multitasker.
I'm trying to also, so I got you.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't see. So I had to get on my whole other phone to jump on this jump. But so there we go. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm trying to see when people will actually empower themselves instead of going back to these jobs and being mad and questioning everything and not believing in themselves and just pushing out something that they really want to do, like we had to do in COVID.
Okay, well, here's this is what you got to take into consideration. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. Everybody, it's one thing, like, you can have confidence in yourself. And again, I'm self-employed, been in business 22 years. Everybody's not an entrepreneur. Everybody can handle, because one thing is you can totally believe in yourself. You have all the confidence in the world. But when we start talking about when you're going down that road of entrepreneurship where, all the bills are on you, market changes, this, that, and that. And because one thing, like if I know right now I don't have PTO, I don't have sick leave. So if anything happens, that's on me to do it. And everybody's not built for that. And there's nothing wrong with it. And I will say people should always do that personal assessment to say, okay, let me know how I am. Because again, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you don't believe in yourself. But some things just, there are certain skills or certain things that an entrepreneur has. And there are certain things that a person that go on to work every day have. And it's all pluses. I share this with people all the time. You can't want the freedom of an entrepreneur, but want the security of a job. And so at the end of the day, you got to know where you fall down, that rainbow to pick what side you want to be. So I always say it's nothing wrong with that. You know, from belief standpoint, I think people need to assess themselves with doing it. What I think a lot of people get caught up in is not that um, they miss out on opportunities because they may be hesitant to do this or go for that. It's more so to what we were just saying earlier. You get so comfortable, you forget to keep promoting yourself or improving yourself in certain things. And as the world changes, you got different technological advances or different ways, different processes have changed over years. And if you don't stay on top of it, any one of us can become obsolete overnight. And when that happens, a lot of times people just not prepared for it. Because you can get a person that's totally confident at their job, totally confident, they know the place inside out. They get a hold of the computer system in. Just think about you just say over the past 10 years, you got automation technology taking over a lot of manufacturing production jobs. So say you the cat that been there, you start working there in the late 80s, early 90s, and you really aren't a computer savvy person. But now you're looking at barcode scanners, robots, and all these other kind of stuff doing it. It can be intimidating to a person who has not been trying to advance themselves. And I think we all can be guilty that certain things, just with our careers, with our families, with our significant others, we're doing it. I just think that people need to more so, number one, know who you are, because I'm not the one, I love entrepreneurship, but I always tell people it ain't meant for everybody, because you got a lot of people, like I said, they want that freedom to do what they want to do, this, that, and that, but they not built for, hey man, checks ain't coming in this month. Hey man, listen, this, that, and again, like, it's easy to say, hey, you can get these accounts, you can get this. If you're not versed with juggling 5 or 6 balls at one time, you might not want to leave that again. You prize service, so you think about it. It's not for you to get 4 or 5 tasks, and you, especially as you, as you get promoted through the ranks, you get used to doing 4 or 5 tasks at a time. We're doing it. The average person has not had that training. They have not had that experience. And as we get, as you get older, trying to learn that kind of stuff, it's probably a little challenging. So that's why I say I think sometimes when people have issues, more so, try to get into entrepreneurship, depending on what level. If you have your safety net, that being your job, or doing it, and then you want to just dibble and dabble with it, you may start I'm just throwing out, just say your lawn service, or your pressure washing, your handiwork. That's cool, but you still got your anchor. But when you go full throttle into it, you got to be built a certain way. You got to be built a certain way to be able to handle that, because again, you find out real quick what you plan and what actually goes on is 2 different things. And if you're not the type of person that's built to handle all those quick sudden changes and pivot and adjust, like you would encourage the military, those kind of things would knock you off. Now the flip side of it is, in the military, we always know what we get paid on the 1st and 15th. Now you talk about maybe getting paid 45 days or 6 months. I mean, I'll use myself for example. Being in the tax business, we start pumping out money September and October. I'm not getting money in the account until mid-February. So that's 4 or 5 months. I'm putting out money from training, marketing, and all this other kind of stuff until when money comes. Now when it comes, it comes. But how many people are gonna be desperate enough to be able to do something like that, to get the bulk of your money 4 or 5 months out of the year and be able to maintain everything throughout the year to doing that? So that's why I say I'm not cautious about the entrepreneur thing, but I always say know yourself and what you're trying to do, but also be realistic about what we're talking about now. You know where you fall into the totem pole. If you're a frontline worker and you pretty much doing a job where anybody can do is plug and play, I mean, there's no reason you're not an asset, and that's with anything. When you actually start adding tools to the toolkit, now you set yourself apart. And some people just need to be right on the front line. Some people, well, I'm not picking at nobody, but some people need to be the fry guy.
No, you're absolutely right.
And you give them one.
You're absolutely right. Just like we was in the military, you got that little seaman that just can't get right.
Yeah.
Nothing. And you stay right there on frontline infantry.
And at the end of the day, they may be great there, but you can't pull them. That car is only gonna go top speed at 5 miles an hour. And if you go any faster with it, you're gonna blow the engine. And that's not picking at nobody. Exactly. So, and I just think that most people probably need to do a better assessment of themselves, but be realistic of what they bring to the table. Besides,
no, it is, because I just saw a meme or one of them TikToks would say, "I just want to get me a job where I get paid $30,000 an hour, and like, and not do nothing." Like, come on, like, I know it's a joke, but that's how a lot of people think.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of people, sit here and start over and over and frustrated every damn morning when they get up to go to work. Because at the end of the day, what you want and reality are two different things. And because a lot of times people don't want to assess themselves, I call it intentional ignorance. They stay blind to it on purpose because they can't fix it. So that way I can always blame it on you. I can blame it on the economy. I can blame it on whoever. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily look at myself. How can I prove myself? Because if you look at it like this, a team will you got teams that'll break their necks to get LeBron James 20, 40 million or whatever. They give him that every year. Why? Because
break that whole salary cap.
Yeah, because he's going to make them money. If you can sit here and put a company in a better position and make them money, they're going to pay you more money. If you can guide them to making more money, they will pay you more money. But if you can't do them and change widgets, they're going to pay you accordingly. It ain't no way around it. We had a big push 10 years ago. Everybody wanted a living wage. We want $15 an hour across the board all over the country. They pressed and pressed and pressed. They did it. But what did they also do? They made big capital investments in technology and innovation. And now what's happening? We got robot serving orders. We got all this other kind of stuff doing. And now you got an abundance of people. Now we know what's going on right now. Everybody's getting laid off. Everybody's getting different things and stuff like that because companies are starting to say, listen, we made them capital investments in technology and innovation. All right, now it's time to start trimming the fat. That's what's happening. And like I said, a lot of times people, what they were asking for was right there just in their face. But you got to look at it. There are things of the bigger picture. You got to look at it. And that's why I really want to push the people to really make sure that you're looking big picture wise with yourself and where you fall into the spectrum of everything. Not necessarily what you're doing now, but what you are doing, how it impacts your business, your organization you're working for, and where you fall in line for if you want to have personal growth. Because a lot of times, and I ain't knocking it, but that's when I was saying I was working in a warehouse, everybody was cool with quarter raise. They might go in there, politics, get 75 cents, but that was that world. Because a lot of them guys, they were just coming in with one particular skill set, or they may have scars, maybe had, different, things on the record and things like that. So they were cool with doing that. But every now and then you have a guy with some unrealistic expectation, and they'll bring right back down to earth. Look, we're not gonna give you that because you can't do this. And that's why I want to have, that's one of the bases of the show tonight. Be like, look, if you see this thing going this direction, what can you use to change it? But listen, brother, I appreciate. I'm sorry, let me cut you out. What you about to say?
My bad. No, what I hear you saying is what I kind of want, because I'm an empowerment too, bro. I'm just like you. I was a Navy counselor, or I think in the Air Force y'all had counselors, career counselors or whatever.
I was in the Army. Don't get us confused.
Oh, you was in the Army. Okay, so like a career planner. The dude that gets you ready for transition. That was me. So I push that, but at the same time, our people, and I don't mean just black people, but all people, they need to have some type of humbleness to them, to be able to get in there and talk to these people and show and prove what they're actually worth. Like if your resume says you do this and this and that, then you need to go in there and talk that way also, but don't go in there with these false expectations. So we're saying the same thing. I just want to reiterate it for people because they need to hear from totally different point of views.
Yeah, but one thing to keep in mind, and I say this to people all the time, you can't have $100,000 aspirations, and you're on a $30,000 person. And what I mean by that, at the end of the day, you can sit here, if you can want this, but if you can sit here and show the metrics of why you deserved it, and it might just be market. This is why I deserve it. Or I can produce this, I can do this, and this is my track record. That's fine. But at the end of the day, there are some people that are going to go into a situation, they swagged out, and they're going to demand it, and they're going to get it. And then you got some people, yes, they feel that way, but we don't get paid on feelings. You know what I'm saying? We get paid on production. And that's one of the biggest things I think people need to understand. Like, if you're not the type of person that, they're going to sell themselves, this can happen to you. And it's not about right or wrong or fair. It is what it is. That's just point blank period. But when I got out of the army, I wasn't the best at selling what I could do. I'm just being honest with that with myself. Plus I was young. Plus I learned, military, you get promoted off merit. But I wasn't the best person selling what I could do. And as I, matured professionally, I became, better at it. But that was the kind of things like, look, you got all these skill sets, but if you don't know, being a career counselor, that, a lot of times people don't know how to, they've done a particular task, but they don't know how to put it in, change from military to English to sell to potential employers. Those kind of things when it's not done, that you miss out on it. So people can get disgruntled about it. But with that said, you haven't really relayed it or sold it to the point where a person would put more money in your pocket with that. But I appreciate your perspective and your insight and everything. You get a chance, make sure you go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, man. I appreciate you calling in. And please make sure it's not last time.
I got all your stuff, and I've been talking to Miscommunications via online.
Okay.
So
cool.
What I do is I push y'all if I see it on my timeline or something, because I got y'all in under my favorite. So I'll push y'all out because I'm moving down to Atlanta.
Okay. Cool.
So I push y'all stuff out, and I'm working with some people down there already with my networking. And I push it out. It's like my future_Jones page is like a commercial TV spot for all my people.
Okay, cool.
So if you got something that I'm inspired by, I push it out on there.
Gotcha.
I look at it, I like it. I don't just like it. I comment sometimes if I'm not busy, and I share it regardless. It goes on my story.
Gotcha.
So somebody's seeing something. You feel me?
Yeah, I got you. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you calling in, brother. And like I said, don't make it the last time.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be in person because I saw you was in there with Bucky.
With Bucky.
That's the wrong show. That's a different
Bucky Bassett.
Yeah, that's a different show.
The comedian.
Yeah. Okay, that was a different show.
Yeah, that's a comedy.
Oh, that was a different. Oh, my bad. That was a
show.
It was on your couch.
Yeah, we got several.
We got several shows. Like we got this.
Oh man, y'all got a whole the Misfits Radio one.
Yeah. The Misfits Radio is the radio station, but it's like 7 different shows on the radio station.
Okay, all right, y'all got to get me caught up there.
I'm
gonna probably be on the team.
But that's why I said go to my YouTube channel is Mr. Short Dollar. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll see all the videos on there.
All right, I got you, fam. Hey, be safe. God bless.
All right, brother. Take care now. Thank you.
All right, peace.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. But listen, guys, what they said, getting a nice show, we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you. So what I want to do, guys, I want to give you guys a few tips that you need to kind of be looking at, because again, like you start seeing that ship sinking, this is one captain that's not going down with the ship. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So shit, I can swim good, but damn, I ain't no that expert in drowning. So we want to talk about. So one of the first things we want to talk about, guys, is number one, evaluate your situation. You got to evaluate your situation. Evaluate the situation. You need to assess the current circumstances. As far as with your job objectivity. And what I mean by that is, you can look at the climate of how everything's going on in regards to, like, so you hear things about the economy. They start saying, sales, production. You can see if business slowing down. You working in that restaurant, we used to be packed every damn day. Right. Now we only, got business going on the weekends. You can see certain things happening, how the trends are changing, and you can look at it and just say, like, look, man, this ain't really, you seeing certain people that were with the organization, they may be getting older and stuff like that. Things may be a new regime in or something like that, different philosophies and stuff. New supervisor coming around with a different way that they think, and you really don't fit in their way. You can see that. So you got to assess your circumstances and be honest. Do not hope. Do not hope. Do not hope. You need to damn know. Because at the end of the day, you know how things are. What I say earlier, I trust you to be you. So when you sitting there knowing that, like, look, man, this shit finna go in a different direction. I know how this person is. Right? And, if they want to just push certain way, they got a different way of thinking or whatever, they're going to make different changes and stuff like that. It's coming. It's just a matter of time. Do you want to take the chance of waiting there for you to get negatively impacted by it or not? That's your question, Now, guys, remember, call in number is 678-740-9894. If you got a situation where you have experienced a layoff or a certain sudden change, or you do see it coming, please call in and discuss. Again, 678-740-9894. But again, like I said, you assessing that situation. You see it, man. Especially like when you start looking at those economic changes, prices change, this, that, and that, technological changes, right? We used to have 8 tracks, then we went to cassettes,
right?
Then we went to CDs,
right?
And now we streaming,
right?
What the hell the boys at? What are the guys at the flea market doing now? What they selling now?
Roku boxes.
That's crazy. What a CD man doing now, man? What a CD guy doing now? Huh?
Yeah, he's hey, that's one hustle that adapts. They don't sit on their laurels.
They sell Roku boxes
They
now.
sell Roku boxes.
Man,
fully loaded.
Boy, you see the CD man? I'm talking about he done. Boy, they had the tapes. They was man. You can't even bootleg no damn more. That's a whole industry gone.
Right, but you know it's coming back though.
How it gonna come back, Larry?
CDs coming back. You'd be surprised. I keep up with the music stuff because I'm DJ. The CDs are coming back. It's like records now.
So do you think
albums came back, and you can sell one album for $99 now? So it's like it's becoming nostalgia. So they coming back.
But okay, nostalgia and bootleg are two whole different things. You think that'd be something somebody can bootleg? That's what I'm talking about.
But they still got their old CDs from before. And they CD burners. Anything's possible.
Man. What let you laugh when you came out of the house? You seen that old lad Kenwood cassette player I had. I'm like, what the hell is this?
But those are still nostalgia albums. You'd be surprised, like just on social media itself, how those tape decks and those component sets are back in style now. Like, I mean, they be elaborate on it, but yeah, they coming back. Moving on.
Yeah, I got you.
Moving on.
Again, that first one we were talking about was evaluating the situation, and then the second one. This is very important. What's that? What was my brother named Future Jones? Future Jones go Jones. But that was the thing about it. And this is very important. And that's you got to review your options. And this is what I think a lot of times people get twisted. They get, because I had time and service at this job, and I started off here now making there. They feel like they're that. But again, if you're not you're doing something manual that anybody can do, you just fall in. Your time of doing it really doesn't. Something's experience doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're building widgets and doing it's something that everybody can do, it doesn't matter. And that's a hard reality for a lot of people to understand, especially if you work in a private sector job, or even a public. Just working. You've been working for federal government. You've been an administrator or whatever. Or you've been a teacher so long, this, that, and that. And you're used to making X amount of dollars. But at the end of the day, now you're up in the open market, and that skill set doesn't transition. I mean, hey, you people being down, in total shock, and how you adjust and plan. That's what will be a determining factor how be able to land on your feet. But you got to review your options. You got to be able to look at what your alternatives are, or we're doing things. You got just because again we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you. When you see shit coming down the pipe, it's probably coming.
It's probably
How you want to choose to do it, you need to be sitting there looking at it. And we're talking about being able to assess yourself. Do not wait until something adverse happens to you before you start looking at assessing your skill sets. A lot of times, guys, you'd be surprised. There are a lot of companies out here that can help you. Look over your resume, point out certain things that you've done. Because I'm gonna say this: when you start going down those free measures, they're able to go to the church. They got resume stuff like that. You got some MF like me doing it, and I'm just pulling straws out my damn hair.
Right.
Trying to get words and stuff. But they got professional people. That's why I say we don't wait. I'm not a reactive person. I like to be proactive with certain things. So you got to be sitting there looking again. When you're looking at review your options, you need to be looking at where from what I do and what I've done. How can that transition into another company or another situation?
Right.
Be it if I'm going into another job, I want to do things for myself. You got to know your true value.
Right.
And that's where a lot of times people have their feeling value, but we have the reality value. And that's why I think so many people caught up, because at the end of the day, you may feel like you should get paid a certain amount of money, and that person you work with might get paid there because they date. I'm just saying, like, they keep it real,
right.
Cause they cousins, right?
100%.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They family.
It's a reason why they go to lunch every day, and come back 30 minutes late with a hair all ruffled. That's how they did it.
Right.
You know, but you have to be very honest with yourself in regards to how you fall into place with everything. You know, Six Red Bone says still mix CDs. All right, then whatever.
I'm sorry if I get your name wrong. Kel Pickford said, "What's up, Coach?"
What's going on, Coach? How you doing, brother? You know that, but that's one of them things about it. People don't really know their true value. They got a number in their head, and we all think we're special, but we ain't. But when you sit there, got certain skill sets, and I always push that with people, like never get so complacent. No matter what you're doing, if your job or wherever you at, you know they got free this, free that. You guys, I mean, even right now we're in the world of Google, get all these damn certifications out damn for free. You can add another tool to the toolkit. The worst thing you can do, guys, in life is get damn comfortable, get complacent.
Right.
Because technology will knock your ass off your damn feet. You know,
It's
just
doing it.
and you know, just it is amazing with all the changes coming down the pipe. And you can't. It's not a negative thing. It's make things easier for you, but also to do what? Take jobs. Make companies more money, move fast, move efficient. Like I said, that whole situation with those living wage stuff, that shit gonna blow up in everybody's face. I said it years ago. What everybody pushing for it. And now, like I said, them companies start making them. They made them capital investments in artificial intelligence. They made it into technological advances with the robots and other machines doing other jobs. And now they coming over to the other side. All right, look, we got this stuff in place. Let's start laying these damn folks off. Because I got a machine to do what 10 of them do. And I done paid for it already. It done paid for itself. So that's what we on the other side with a lot of stuff going.
We had a conversation today at the office about, well, I didn't. Somebody was having this conversation. I kind of just heard it about AI taking over property assessments. You know, going out and assessing the value of a property. Like they're saying that AI has started to do that now.
I think there are certain things that you still gonna have to have people with, because you know the information can be seen or whatever. You know, just like somebody, it's one thing, you know, like you got in real estate, people look at comps and throw out a number, but then you go because you're looking at the house and damn a house around the corner, sold this and that's the comp. But then you go out there, the house next door got a big ass motor sitting out there, and the other side they got 8 damn dogs in the backyard, and smell like crap all day. So of course your house is beautiful, and they sold another around the corner. But you ain't that value in there because I got the motor and them dogs over there. So again, those kind of things, you still need human eyes on certain things for doing it. But I do think there are a lot of changes, and I think it'll make a lot the access to the information a lot easier. But I do think there are a lot of things you still gonna need a person to do. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Now what it does is it adjusts two ways it can go about it. It can lower wages because they're doing less, or it can increase wages because you got less people doing it. You don't need as many people doing it. That makes sense.
Right.
Because if I had a team of 5 to actually pull a certain amount of information, now that done reduced to 2 or 3, I can pay them more money. You know, we're doing it, or I can get more done because I got access to stuff. So I think that's just time will tell us that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's just my particular opinion on it. What's somebody see, Short Dollar?
Jay Play say, what's good, Mr. Short Dollar?
What's going on, brother? What's happening with you? What's happening? And so that was number 2 with reviewing your options. Again, we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you, guys. Because again, a lot of people call. Like I'm getting these calls all the time. Hey man, what you think about this and that with the economy, debt ceiling and all this stuff? People looking at that. What's going on? They say you hear Amazon laying off, General Electric laying off, and all these people laying off. They were just, they was, adding stuff to the damn house about a month or 2 ago.
Right.
Now you get that damn, you calling that meeting. You're on a 900 person Zoom call. Hey, we're gonna lay off 400 people. Check your email. We just sent them out. Who the hell want to be in that?
Right.
And that's not tripping. It can happen to anybody. But that's why I want people to understand. Those kind of things what sent me into entrepreneurship, because I always share to people I hit that glass ceiling.
Right.
But to the point we were just talking about earlier, I want a few people I can juggle 7, 8 balls at a time. And I know that was made me different. And I don't have them expectations
from everybody.
Because I do think I'm different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, take how you want it. I think I'm different. And I can see people like, man, that cat sharp, he can do that.
Right.
And that ain't necessarily the smartest people can be entrepreneurs. It's just I think the people that can recover from sudden bad changes are probably some of your best entrepreneurs because things always doing this, that, and that. And if you're not one of those type of people, it's hard to be an entrepreneur because it's not the same as going to work in the same routine. That's to me one of the biggest the distinguishing factor when you're going down that road because man, damn, they stopped doing this, man, we can't do this. And they still, because at the end of the day, YouTube will just say, look, we charge $500 a month. I just had the StreamYard. This shit went from damn I think $100-something to $500. Hell, QuickBooks went from damn $300 to almost $600 in a year. I'm just saying that's the kind of stuff you like.
Right.
Hey man, again, I'm just talking about basic costs of doing business.
Right.
Things change and stuff like that. We went from a couple years ago where you could talk freely on the internet. Then they had the restrictions with the words. Now they'll open it back up. So I'm just saying quick changes like that. So you have to be able to pivot and adjust. If you're not one of them type of people, you got a tough time in entrepreneurship. That's why I said, like, look, know who the hell you are. Don't try to come out here, just trying to do these kind of things. And look, I got a little money saved up. I'm trying to do this on my own. Like, all right, I'm not knocking it. But at the end of the day, it's cool. Nobody needs help counting money. But when that money ain't coming in, find the money.
It's a different story.
Shit, everyone don't know how to find no money.
Right.
And that right there, that's one of them bigger changes that a lot of people don't necessarily have that skill set, and that's one of, what you about to say?
Latasha Lane said, what kind of business did you go into after quitting your 9 to 5? Leaving your 9 to 5.
Well, no, I didn't. I always had my tax business open the whole time. Thanks for calling the dialogue. This is Deontay Burton. Who am I speaking with?
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, who's this?
It's Chris.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is my son Christopher. Believe it or not, with that deep masculine voice, feel like mine. My baby boy is graduating tomorrow, man. Big shout out to my boy Chris. What's up, Chris B?
Nothing. I just want to say I'm going to gym tomorrow.
Chris graduates high school tomorrow and at noon, and PJ graduates at 11:30. So I got two sons that graduate. One graduating from college, the other graduating high school tomorrow. One at 11:30, one at noon. So, son, I do want to tell you, man, I'm super, super proud of you, man. Very excited to see you walk across stage tomorrow, and I'm more excited to see what you do in the future, man. So I love you, dog.
Thank you.
And we're also excited because we got plans. Me and Will got plans for what we're gonna do with your room when you leave.
Anyway, so.
But nah, dog, I'm proud of you, baby boy, and I appreciate you calling in, son.
Okay, thank you.
Love you, man. You take it easy. I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay, bye.
Right, bye, man. My boy, what the hell?
Right. He wanted to let you know, the world know he is graduating
tomorrow. I'm proud of Chris, man.
That's right.
I'm proud of
That's
Chris.
right.
Proud of him. Very, very sharp brother, man. I ain't just saying to good mind, but I'm super proud of him, man. And big shout out. Man, I don't know why the hell I missed that at the beginning of the show. I was gonna say it. I know I was gonna say it for the end. Shout out to him and PJ, man. That's some good stress. Got two kids graduating tomorrow.
Right.
Shit, man. Cool, man. I'm proud of both of them, man. Proud of both of them.
Rick, who you getting the car for?
The car?
Who you buying the car for?
Man, I'm calling no damn. Shit. Damn. I mean, they cool. We are there. They all right.
Right.
I got them damn Richie Rich kids. Shit, they good boys. I ain't tripping. I got good kids. I've been blessed, so I don't really trip too tough. You know what I'm saying? With that, with that, I'm really blessed. I got good kids. All four of them good boys and stuff like that. So I'm super excited for him and P, man. With doing it, they take a lot of my. I'm probably not the most easiest person to deal with, but I think in the big picture, help them both out and stuff. So big shout out to Chris, man. Thanks for calling in, brother. Again, the night show, we're talking about leaving your job before they fire you. We just went over 3 of them, evaluating the situation, review your options. The second one. There's the third one, guys. This is very, very important.
Hold on, before you get that, you got to answer Latasha Lane's question. What businesses did you start when you left your job, when you left your 9 to 5?
Latasha, I will say that before I answer your question, I have a video on both Change Your Lives and Mr. Short Dollar on how to leave your 9 to 5. So I have several videos on how to prepare yourself, how to leave your job. So you can go to the YouTube channel. Both channels have over 700 videos, but I did an in-depth explanation on how to prepare yourself on how to leave your 9 to 5 in regards to, you want to go down the road of entrepreneurship. Whole long blueprint, hour by hour longer talking. And I've done several shows on that subject matter. So feel free to go to Mr. Short Dollar or Change Your Lives on YouTube and just put that in the search, how to leave your 9 to 5. And the video will pop up. To answer your question, I've had the tax business longer than I was at any job. So, pretty much, but I want to say moonlighting with it. Hell, 5 years before I left my job, I had a nice little job right downtown Atlanta, nice office and all that stuff, around all the pretty legs and everything. And but the tax business was making more money than that. So I didn't leave and start over. I just left and I went from giving probably 40-50% into something and started giving 100. Because my thought process was, hell, if I'm making this kind of money, giving 30-40%, what the hell could I do if I had full attention to it? Now, coincidentally, a year after I left, a year and a half after I left, I went through a divorce. And she just went chain. It was scissor hands on my bank, But we all past that now. But I will say I was already in the business, so I'm an accountant by profession. So we just expanded tax business. So everything's great. We just had our 22nd straight tax season. Everything's awesome with that. But I will say that I moonlight with a lot of stuff. Anybody know me? I'm a serial entrepreneur. I had a salon for 17 years. Had a studio 3 years. I had a sports training company that I was a member of. A lot of different stuff, investments in real estate. There are a lot of stuff that I've done I damn totally bombed on. So I'll be honest on the show about that. I'm not one of the type of people to sit here and say, well, man, I did this. I have effed up some money. I'm pretty good at making money. I think I'm great at making money.
Right.
But I can damn sure tell you how to F it up. That's why I be very, very honest with people about certain time people want to make certain moves with doing certain stuff. Take your time. Take your time. You do got to have some kind of courage with certain things, but you got to be smart about certain things too. Like I said, your hope can't be greater than you knowing, because people hope and pray on things because they don't want to have the accountability of themselves to be responsible enough to find stuff out.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of times people do that. Well, we just gonna hope for the best. Shit, you can't hope on this because you got mortgage pay,
right?
And you got car notes. And you sitting there, you done raffled off of everything like that, because you just didn't like your situation. And it don't work like that. Now you're losing everything, your house, your marriage, your family, and all that kind of stuff. So I always say that accountability with doing it. But if you have things that you want to do, try it. Try it. Stick your toe in the water. I ain't saying go in there, go skinny dipping. Just stick your toe in the water and be realistic. And this is probably going to number 3. Reflect on your goals and priorities. And what I say about reflecting on your goals and priorities, you know where you want to be at in life, because and again, when we be at a job, we're making good money, everything's going great. It's close to the job, close to your home. Like I said, you got freedom, right. You can do this and all that kind of stuff. You love your coworkers. You walk down your cubicle, everybody high five joke. It's cool. Been there, done that. But at the end of the day, don't get that confused with, stability. Right. Or reality, right? Because at the end of the day, when you seeing orders are slowing down, people, we ain't selling as many of these as before. Traffic starting to decrease. You seeing the signs. You got to decide how long you want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Trader Cole said, "Congratulations, guys." Also, Six Redbone said, "Congrats, boys. Appreciate that, y'all. Appreciate that." That's one of the things about it. You got to be smart about certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, at the job that I laid off most recently, I knew it was coming. And they brought us all in the office, not all of us, but my department brought us all in the office, had a meeting. Yeah, things are slowing down, but we're going to make sure y'all got jobs. We're going to make sure that. I said, uh-oh, here we go. 1 week, literally 1 week. I'm going to say 1 week, 2 days. After that, they laid me off. And I already saw it coming because there was no work. I had already started looking, but there was just there was nothing going. When I first went there to when I got laid off, it was a totally different office, and there was some of it was their fault. They didn't innovate enough. They didn't, instead of letting people sign documents via email and PDF and all that, they were still having people go out to these folks and meet with them and stuff. And I was like, that's not the way to do it now. That's innovation.
It ain't Y2K.
Right. And they waited till the last minute to do that.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit their fault too. Everybody else was already doing 2 or 3 years prior.
Yeah, but it still rub you a certain way, no matter if you're preparing or not, because you want to move on your terms.
Right. But it may rub me more. I think it bothered me more that they brought us in the office to tell us that BS than to just being straightforward and say, we might got a couple more weeks, but we don't know how long. Because the job prior to that I got laid off, they basically was like, we trying to keep it going, and we're gonna work as best we can to keep y'all the job, but we don't know.
Yeah,
I respected that more.
Yeah, but it ain't about respect, though, Lab. I'm on the other side. Should I tell Lab that Lab ain't coming to work tomorrow? So
no, Lab still come to work because you know what, Lab's smart.
Yeah,
because Lab know if I quit, I ain't gonna get no unemployment.
Yeah, maybe though, maybe. But you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But but take that consideration. Like, look, man, we're gonna try to make as much money as possible. We tell something to get adverse. Because I can tell you this: when I knew I was leaving my job, hell, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing that. I was preparing, getting there, my ducks in a row. We're doing stuff, and that's probably going to to that point of just maintaining professionalism and productivity. You got to make sure. Now, again, we're talking about it could be at your job, it can be how you preparing next thing and stuff like that. You got to ask yourself honestly, which way I'm gonna go, because my best friend Jay told me, the HR person. I remember Jay said, he said, Poochie, you need to do this, get 2-week notice and all that kind of stuff. He said, because if you ever have to come back, you don't want to make sure everything was good. Now that hit me the wrong way. I'm cussing him out, mother, this, that, and that. I told you I'm leaving. I don't want to come back.
I'm not coming back.
Him saying that made me just more like, whoo, shit. Man, but I will say this: when you start doing that kind of thing, you need to make sure, from a professional standpoint, more so, don't burn bridges.
Right.
Don't burn bridges. I ain't saying, are you obligated to give a 2-week notice and help people out while you leave in a certain situation with doing that? No, you're not, because again, if they lay your ass out, they not even give you a damn 2-second explanation.
Right.
They probably don't even let you go back to your damn desk.
Right.
We'll mail it to you. Hey man, my wallet, damn, my keys. We'll get it to you.
Right.
They just walk you out, secure it up there, and you just walk it. They have no damn remorse whatsoever with that situation, right? So at the end of the day, are you obligated to do that? Now, if I'm working for my man Lab, that's my brother, I'm not gonna leave him in a mess up situation. I get it. But you got to be sitting there looking like, look, if I'm still gonna be able to be in the same industry as certain things, how do I want to leave? Do I want to mess my name up with certain things? So you got to take all that stuff into consideration. I always tell people, like, I know when I left, and I left my resignation letter and stuff, I left. I had all keys left on my desk, cleaned everything out. I left all my login and passwords. I left all the manuals and stuff that I had used or created. Left everything there. So make sure nobody had to call my ass. Where's this? Where's that?
Right.
We're doing it. So I left everything there, but I damn sure didn't get no 2-week notice. With doing it. Did that make me right? I don't think it's right or wrong. That's the way I did it. With doing it, because again, I'm hitting a glass ceiling, but I had to be very, very conscious about what my partner said. You don't want to burn no bridges. I wasn't looking to go down that road anymore. I'm doing something totally different from what I was doing before.
Right.
So I didn't need, cool. The people that I had relationships with, right? The other people that I didn't, that it may have run the wrong way, I didn't care. Now that's me speaking for myself. But if you know that you may have to go and they got to, you don't want to just mess stuff up where things have to get crossed again. If that makes sense.
Right.
So you have to be smart about it. And, again, you don't want to get, a certain way of doing certain things that can hurt you, and I think I did everything pretty good about that. Professional. And I protected myself. But I ain't give a damn about them because they didn't give a damn about me. But I wasn't going to hurt my reputation, exactly. So that you got to be very, very careful about that, guys. Especially, like I say, if you're looking to move in a different industry, because again, sometimes we may think this is a big world, but some circles are small. Yeah, especially some industries, people they may have grew up together, went to college together, they in certain lodges or fraternities, sororities, and stuff like that. And so, one phone call can sit here and just damn a lot of stuff. Man, I want to go to the feds. I want to go work at the state. But in this cat, brother-in-law, you know what I'm saying? So those kind of things can come back and bite you in the butt. Hey, man, we had a person, what do you think about it? Man, whatever. So you got to be smart about that. I went where it was just me solo dolo, so it didn't matter. But you got to be smart about that, guys. You got to be smart about that. We're doing it. Because we're talking about leaving. You got to make sure that the priority is you. And it's not necessarily just you looking for a job. It's also to make sure that you keep your reputation and legacy intact. Because again, that's what gets you opportunities.
Right.
What people know about you, what they heard about you, your name and stuff like that. So you got to be very, very smart about that, guys, when you're doing it. Don't be so quick. Don't be so worried about saving face and look, I don't want to leave messed up, because again, keep in mind, it business ain't that person. That's on both sides.
Right.
And you got to make sure that you keeping that in mind through the whole big picture of everything when you're looking at it. Another thing, guys, is probably last I want to think about. Guys, make sure that when you see things going a certain way, I know it's scary, I know it's rough, because again, you got things going on. You need to start planning the exit strategy. If you have to use it or not use it. If they come in and say, look, everything's good, guys, everybody fine, whatever this, that, and that, you move on, cool. But you need to have things in place where you say, if this happens, this is what I might have to do.
Right.
Because again, like tomorrow ain't promised was. We know that just with life, but it's on your damn job ain't either. You know what I mean? And things happen. And I've never been the type of person that had comfort in other people making decisions on my livelihood. You may think, okay, I can control this, that, and that. You don't have a lot of control of your destiny. I got somewhat degree, but there can be technological changes. To last point, AI can just change the whole tax preparation industry, just like that. And I got to figure. Google turn around and say, hey, we're going to change the whole platform of YouTube. All that ad money going. They may have
Instagram.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, you look, everything can turn around and just change in a blink of an eye. So you got to be smart about certain things. And smart just means that, look, you protecting yourself. You're actively protecting yourself to make sure that another person's decision does not affect your livelihood in an adverse way. Because again, you can't change what people do.
Right.
You can't change that, but you damn sure can have some kind of control over the response you have
towards
it. And I really want to challenge everybody to be doing that. Look over your resume, look over, update it, network, start going to certain things and stuff like that. But the last damn thing you need to do is just sit there and pray on it.
Yeah, when I got this job, they was like, well, you got to delete your resume from all the websites and all the job boards. And I was like,
really?
Nah. Nah.
Why would they ask you to do that?
They asked. And I was like, nah, I won't be doing that.
What's the purpose of doing that?
I have no idea.
Probably protectionism thing for them with everything.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I won't be doing that.
Wow.
Nah, I won't. I will never do that, because I never know from day one to day two what's gonna happen. I learned that very early on. So, and I update it every 6 months on them boards, them job boards. I'm studying getting offers. I'm gonna make sure that I have some eventually. You know what I'm saying? That something gonna come in. Yeah.
That's interesting. I wouldn't even, I didn't know if that was legal.
A lot of jobs ask you that.
Really?
They ask you to, take your resume down or whatever, because they don't want. For one, they want you to stay at the job as long as they want you to stay there.
There you go. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's not
like that.
Right. It's not that they're trying to make sure your future's secure. They want to make sure as long as they need you, you there. And that you don't leave before they're ready for you to go. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
No, I would never do that. I always keep it. I just update it. I think I recently updated it in May. I'm sorry, in March.
Yeah.
I updated, changed some stuff on Word and typing, and I'm going to update it again in a couple more months, because I'm going to use the.
Yeah, and to that point with Lab stating that, guys, always self-improvement. Remember what I say, guys. The biggest way to increase the amount of money you can make with anything in life is keep adding value to yourself. And you keep adding value to yourself by doing new tasks, new certifications, new educations, new experiences. That's when you're adding more value to yourself. And that's what equates to more money coming to you. If you're just a doer, you're just going to get doer results and pay. But if you add value to yourself to do that and stuff, and the best way to add value to yourself is when you don't have to add value yourself. If that makes sense. That means you're not pressing. You don't want to try to say, okay, well, I got 5, let me go back to school. Be uncomfortable a year or 2 or 3, whatever. You just going to get that stuff out of the way and do that.
They have free courses now on these universities, online universities. One of them I use, I can't think of the name right now. They let the courses from the year before be free. And not the new course, but the year before.
Yeah.
If on the course they let it be free. So I go on there often, see what new free course they're offering and how long the course may be, and I take the course.
And don't shy away from experiences because it may be time consuming. Because at the end of the day, some of the things that you learn to do that may be the most uncomfortable, may be the most rewarding as far as career-wise pay and things like that. But just because, that certification take about 1.5 years or 2 years, well, you're gonna get paid for it.
Right.
It's an end game for us. So don't avoid it because it seems a little challenging. Typically that's why doctors and lawyers get paid so much damn money because they got to spend all them damn years and med school and residency and going to law school. Exactly.
Every few years.
Yeah, that's exactly why they get paid so much because of the amount of commitment they got to do to get to that point. So just keep that in mind, guys. So let me see.
Let me ask you one more question.
Okay, cool.
We go. We're talking about preparing yourself. Do you think before to leave a job before they fire you? Do you think if a job is suffering financially, or you see cutbacks coming, do you think it's a good idea to leave, or do you think you should wait until they lay you off so you can get unemployment?
Prepare.
Okay.
Prepare. Because at the end of the day, you don't necessarily know when they're gonna make their move, but you know what you're doing. Control your controllables. You can't control what they're gonna do.
Right. I'm talking about just leaving before, because it may be a case you may be looking, you may be putting fillers out, you may be putting resumes out and re-updating and getting everything done and putting it out, but nothing's bitten yet. And if you just say, you know what, I know they finna fire me, I'm finna go, you may not get anything else. But I mean, unemployment's a lot, but it's something to sustain you a little bit until you do find something else. That's gas money to get back and forth these interviews.
I don't want to cop out and say that's a you call, but at the end of the day,
it is.
Is when people because you can say and just say, well, look, man, everything kind of got back on track and the economy got back on top. Everything was cool. Because I remember that was one of the conversations I would have with my ex-wife when the airlines were doing it or was slipping, and she didn't want to leave because she had tenure down. And we're doing certain things, and I got that. It didn't. One part of me that makes sense to become like, look, we over here making this money now. She might have been already like, I'm thinking to leave there. That's why I want to do it. I get it. But on the flip side of it is there were people that, especially when the pandemic hit, a friend of mine that she had got on, he took the 20-something grand and got the hell on and moved to Florida.
Okay.
And everything like that. He cool. Got another gig, got the money, and he still had all these different benefits we're doing. They gave good packages out. I thought that was pretty cool. We're doing it. But I think that's a you call, and I thought that was a great move to do. But on the one side, people are like, well, look, man, I'm not the type of person. I like what I do. I like doing it, and they just took that gamble. I don't know what's the right or wrong, but you got to be able to live with whatever you choose.
It's your choice.
You got to be able to live with it, and I think that's probably the part that a lot of people are not prepared for.
Right.
That's why I say you can't let your fears be greater than your fear of doing something different, be greater than your fear of not trying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That fear of not doing something, because I remember when I left corporate America, hell, 8 months prior to leaving, I had everything. I had the money, I had every damn thing
in place.
Yeah, I'm sitting on money, but I was so damn afraid. Like,
to leave that
I'm making money on the side. Got money in the bank, but I was just so afraid of leaving that security with doing it, man. And I remember when I had left, just other job, and it was like, man, they pay good, and they pay good. But I said, but it wasn't about paying good. Everybody paying good. They want to pay what they're paying the white boys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look,
I need
hey, they ain't even asking. They go golfing and get what they wanted.
Right.
And it was just so, I remember, man, the job for that. And it was just, especially like the older folks in my family, they was just like, it was absurd because they were so used to, if the white boy made more money, everybody be cool. Poochie don't get down like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was one of them things with doing it there. But I was okay with living with. Hey man, if this don't work, this that I was okay with it because my fear of staying around and snapping
was worse.
Yeah, exactly. Then you know, I want to live with that and all that kind of stuff like that. We're going so, but everybody ain't like me, and I don't think nobody wrong, but I always tell I know how they move it go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you wishing you hope things get better and change, and you know, what you say? You got so many summers in life.
So many summers.
You know, I love get out of bed in the morning.
Average 75.
Yeah, and that's
not a lot of summers.
Yeah, and that point, I can just share this with people. I love getting out of bed in the morning. I don't be on it, man. I got to do this. I got to do.
Rush.
Oh man. Well, you know, even if I had to rush, even if I had a lot going on, I love getting up in the morning. I love going to do my business, and I wish everybody have that feeling. Be if they going to work, their job, or if they doing their own thing. I would encourage everybody to get to a point where you love getting up in the morning, whatever you're doing, and I think if you have that, you'll be a lot more healthier, successful, and you'll make a whole lot more money with doing it because you love doing what you're doing.
95% of people don't love to get up in the morning.
No. Like I said, I love.
Easily 95%.
No, man. Hey, love doing this and that.
Might be a morning person, but they like, man, I don't want to go do this job today.
And I had to go through a lot to get to that point where I could just get over a lot of my own personal fears and hang-ups and all that kind of stuff. I did everything I didn't want to do so I could do what I wanted to do. And everybody don't want to do that. And again, that's not a knock. It's just got to be, again, you can't have them such and such $100,000 aspirations, but you got $30,000 movements. Right. And it is what it is. It is what it is.
That's right.
You know, that's just how it is. So, you know, I hope everybody enjoyed the conversation we had tonight in regards to that and everything. If you came in on the tail end of the conversation where we talked about again, leaving your job before they fire you, go to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, subscribe to the channel, check out the video in its entirety. And also, if you got any questions or comments about everything, leave questions or comments on the video. And I promise you, anybody knows I check everything every day, so I will respond to your comments or questions that you may have. So with that said, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Love you guys. One more thing, again, big shout out to PJ and Chris, both of them graduating tomorrow. Who got it better than Poochie? That's all I got to say. Who got it better than Poochie? So I love you guys. Super proud of both of you. Thanks for calling in, Chris. Thanks for everybody calling in tonight and everything. I appreciate all you guys that tuned in. Love you all. Be safe, and I'll talk with you soon.